Psychology is described as the science of behavior. Psychology seeks to understand the abilities, motives, thinking processes, and action of people. Studying child psychology provides a range of reasons for professionals in fields like dentistry or orthodontics. Having a strong foundation in psychology enables professionals to cater specifically to the needs of their patients based on their age and stage of development. It aids in understanding how children undergoing treatment react and helps determine the most effective approaches for interacting with them. Understanding deviations from expected behavior becomes possible, allowing for early recognition and appropriate intervention. Professionals can adjust their own reactions and behavior during treatment sessions, creating a more conducive environment for their young patients. It allows professionals to view situations from the perspective of the child or patient, fostering empathy and improving communication. Enhanced knowledge of mental health, emotional issues, and patient psychology enables orthodontists to effectively manage patient needs and enhance patient compliance with treatment protocols. In the realm of developmental psychology, several theories offer profound insights. These include the psychoanalytical theory, psychosocial theory, cognitive theory, and behavior learning theory. Each theory provides a unique perspective and framework to understand how individuals grow, learn, and develop across their lifespan. Psychoanalytical theory was put forward by Sigmund Freud. Freud's theory emphasized the interplay of surroundings and society in emotional development. This theory lays emphasis on innate behavior, mainly sex urge. According to Freud, within each individual there are three systems. These are called ego and superego. The personality or behavior of an individual is based on the interaction of these three systems. In the intricate landscape of Freudian psychology, it represents the primal reservoir of our desires and impulses. It serves as the wellspring from which all pleasures and gratifications emanate, driven by unconscious, instinctive urges that motivate our behaviors. Operating on the pleasure principle, it relentlessly pursues immediate satisfaction of libidinal urges, heedless of logic, morality, or purpose. Its inner cravings find fulfillment through interactions with the external world, seeking gratification wherever possible. Contrasting with its unrestrained impulses, the ego emerges as the pragmatic mediator in the psyche. The ego facilitates interactions with the social world, ensuring that its basic needs can be met within acceptable societal norms. It operates according to the reality principle, taking into account practical constraints and consequences when satisfying desires. As a mediator, the ego controls and modifies its tendencies, balancing them against societal expectations and personal goals. It plays a crucial role in managing its pleasure-seeking tendencies, tempering impulsive urges with rationality and foresight. In stark contrast to both the id and the ego stands the superego, embodying our ideals and moral standards. Functioning as the conscience of the psyche, the superego makes value-based judgments on our actions, guiding us toward what is perceived as right or wrong. It incorporates the moral teachings and societal norms acquired through upbringing and socialization, forming a critical part of our ethical framework. According to Freud's psychoanalytic theory, the interplay between the id, ego, and superego is dynamic and developmental. At birth, the child is driven solely by the id's primal instincts, with the ego and superego gradually emerging and evolving under the influence of socialization and experience. The superego, shaped by parental and societal influences, evaluates and restrains the id's impulses, imposing moral standards and ideals on our behaviors. However, within the psyche, conflicts inevitably arise between the ego's pragmatic considerations, the superego's moral judgments, and the id's unrestrained desires. When these conflicts escalate beyond a manageable level, Freud posited that individuals may develop personality disorders or experience psychological distress. To cope with these internal conflicts and the demands of the superego, the ego develops defense mechanisms, psychological strategies aimed at reducing anxiety and maintaining psychological equilibrium. These defense mechanisms include suppression, where unwanted thoughts are intentionally excluded from consciousness, projection, which involves attributing one's own unacceptable impulses to others, identification with powerful or admired figures, rationalization to justify one's behaviors, and fantasy as a means of escaping reality or imagining success. In summary, Freud's tripartite model of the psyche, the mid-ego and superego, provides a framework for understanding the complexities of human behavior and the internal conflicts that shape our personalities. Through the ongoing interplay and negotiation between these psychic forces, individuals navigate the challenges of satisfying primal desires while adhering to societal norms and moral principles, with the ego acting as the crucial mediator and defender of psychological balance. Freud's theory of psychosexual development posits that early childhood experiences profoundly shape personality and behavior through distinct stages, each emphasizing different bodily zones and psychological challenges. The oral stage is characterized by the infant's primary focus on the mouth for gratification and exploration. Sucking, chewing, and tasting are not only vital for nourishment but also sources of comfort and pleasure. The mouth serves as the gateway to satisfaction, whether through breastfeeding or bottle feeding. Problems in this stage, such as weaning issues or inadequate nurturing, can lead to oral fixation, manifesting as habits like thumb sucking or oral aggression. Passive-aggressive tendencies and sarcasm may also stem from unresolved oral conflicts. During the anal stage, the child's world centers on control over bodily functions, particularly bowel movements. Toilet training becomes a pivotal developmental task where children learn to manage and release accumulated waste. The anal zone becomes a focal point of pleasure and discomfort regulation. Issues during this stage, such as overly strict or lax toilet training, can influence personality development. Excessive emphasis on toilet training may lead to compulsive, stubborn, or overly orderly behaviors in adulthood, known as anal retentive traits. The phallic stage marks a period of heightened awareness and curiosity about genitals and gender differences. Children become keenly aware of their own and others' anatomical distinctions, shaping early concepts of gender identity. This stage is significant for the emergence of the Oedipus complex in boys and the Electra complex in girls. In the Oedipus complex, boys develop intense feelings for their mothers and view their fathers as rivals for maternal attention. Conversely, girls in the Electra complex experience attraction towards their fathers and may harbor feelings of jealousy towards their mothers. During the latent stage, sexual impulses remain dormant as children shift focus towards developing social and intellectual skills. Ego maturation progresses and children begin to interact more with peers and adults outside the family. This period fosters adaptability and the acquisition of competencies necessary for navigating increasingly complex social environments. The latent stage is characterized by a decrease in egocentrism and a focus on mastering academic and social challenges, laying the groundwork for future relationships and personal growth. The genital stage heralds the onset of puberty and the resurgence of sexual impulses. Adolescents experience heightened attraction towards peers of the opposite sex, navigating relationships focused on mutual pleasure and intimacy. This stage is crucial for achieving individual identity separate from parental influences as adolescents strive to establish autonomy and independence. Dependency on parents diminishes and individuals begin to explore their roles in society and their aspirations for the future. Freud's stages of psychosexual development provide a framework for understanding how early childhood experiences shape personality, emotional development, and interpersonal relationships throughout life. Each stage highlights the interplay between biological drives and social influences, influencing the formation of individual identities and psychological well-being.